Hey everyone, and welcome to Our Small Footprint. My name is Nyssa. If you're new here, we are a large family living off-grid in Australia. It is Saturday morning and we are doing the shopping, the main part of the shopping today at Costco and stuff. I have not filmed any of the other stuff that I have done this month because I've got a cold, as you can tell. I actually feel a little bit better today than I have done, which isn't saying much because I still sound pretty horrible. But anyway, so I came down Thursday. And Thursday I got all the click and collects delivered. I don't think I even took a photo. Woolworths and Coles turned up at the same time at Mum's apartment. Anyway, I couldn't get a car park. I couldn't park the trailer, so I had to park the trailer at my aunt's. So we ended up putting all the groceries in the back of Mum's car for the moment. So now this morning, and then Friday, I went and got my blood test done, and then we went to the Golden Cockerel chicken outlet. I'll put a photo in here. You're not supposed to take photos or video, apparently. I took this way back in line before I saw the signs that said not to. So it's just a photo of the line, basically. So we went out there and we scored really well, really good value chicken. So I bought all that. We will show it when I do the groceries. And then we went to Bunnings to get the tool trolley that we wanted. And that was an ordeal and a half because when I calculated the size of the packaging and stuff, it comes on a pallet, which meant that it was too tall for the ladder racks and it's too long for the tray. It just overlaps the tray. So we've had to pull all the sides and the back off the tray, which made it harder to pin stuff. Anyway, it was an ordeal and a half. So we did that, and then we're pretty wiped. So then we dropped this back at Mum's place and took Mum's car to go and do Aldi. And we did Aldi, and then we came home and then we emptied all the chicken that we had bought out and we put it up on Mum's table and we bagged it all and vacuum sealed it all. So I forgot my vacuum sealer from home, but Aldi still had some on special. They only do it like twice a year. And my thought was that I'll leave it at Mum's place for when we do this again. And if the one at home dies, I can just claim that as a spare. So they're only $50 at Aldi, which is a really great price for just a home vacuum sealer. I use my chamber vacuum sealer at home, but I also have an Aldi one for really quick jobs. So we spent like 3 hours vacuum sealing up all the chicken. Again, I'll show it to you. We put it all in 1 kilo bags. So there's thighs with bone in, skin on, boneless, skinless thighs. There is coarse ground mince, 8mm mince. There is wing nibbles. There is whole split chickens. Yeah, so we will show that. I'll lay it all out when we're doing it. And now I packed it all into Mum's chest freezer. Some of it's frozen solid, some of it's semi-frozen, which will just keep it nice and cool on the way home. And the 150 litre esky is full. So with just the few things that I bought at Woolies and Coles and the chicken, that is packed to the limit. So I bought 2 eskies, so that's fine. So now, Saturday morning, we just loaded all that into the eskies. That's tied off. I'm at Auntie Gay and Uncle Jeff's because I need to pick up the trailer because there was nowhere to park it at Mum's place. So we're going to put the trailer on. There is someone moving out of an apartment at Mum's place, and Mum's car's actually parked in at the moment. So I'm going to do this. She'll come when she can, and we need to load all the groceries from Mum's car into the bottom of the trailer. Now, I don't normally do fruit and veg on a Saturday, so I contacted Adam this morning and said, I'm going to be by this morning. Is that okay? And he had an appointment. So he was going to be gone by the time we got there. So we actually did it over the phone, and he's already loaded me a trolley up. I'll put a photo in here. Loaded me a trolley up with everything as we discussed over the phone. So I only need to go in and pay and pack that into Mum's car, and then we'll head to Costco. Now, the plan is to head to Costco before it opens because then I can park so that the trailer opens into a garden bed would be ideal. So I don't know, it's 5 to 9. We're running a bit late because of the people moving at Mum's place. We'll see how we go. We may not make it, but if not, I'll just park way down the back and we walk, and that's life too. So yeah, so trolleys on the back there. I'm going to pull those labels off, I think, because the rain has made them come loose and I don't want them to flick off into someone's windscreen on the drive. Both the eskies in the back as well, on the back as well, and yeah, getting the trailer. All right, as per usual, I've just been really slack. So I was going to film some shopping and I was going to do some stuff, and I didn't because I'm just, I'm tired and I'm still coughing my guts up, and I just, it's enough concentration to not cough anywhere around people and stuff. Not because I think I've got anything it's an issue, but we all know how coughing in public has got this new thing about it since COVID. So everything's done. I picked up that trolley that I showed you a screenshot of. It all went in the back of Mum's car, and then we drove from there. I only ducked into the butcher to get some thick cut bacon that was on special. I didn't go anywhere else, and it was packed because we were running late and it's a Saturday. So then we went to Costco, and again we were running late, so I had to park way down the back, and I parked across like 3 or 4 different car parks right in the back because there was none of the throughway car parks that didn't have the diamond shaped garden beds in the middle. And then the trailer, the door opens outwards, so you don't want to be parking beside a car with it on that side because it's risky to damage the car. Anyway, so we did Costco. The checkout lines were massive. I didn't want to buy any meat at Costco because we got all that chicken and all that beef, and I found pork mince in the bottom of my freezer and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a condensed sort of a Costco shop. I think it was $1,000 instead of $1,400. I don't know. Anyway, so it's now 3:30. I am at the last stop before I home. I like to stop about 15 minutes after I leave Costco. I stop at a service station, top up the fuel, check all my straps to make sure everything is nice and firm. And then I stop again. I'm now about an hour from home, an hour and 10 from home. And it's a nice, easy service station to stop at. If I need to use the bathroom, get a drink, I don't need to do any of that today. But I like to stop, get out of the car, double check all my straps again. And it's probably unnecessary. Like, everything's already settled in that first 15 minutes. But it makes me feel better, so I do it. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm home. And then I will show you the ute in the trailer before we unpack it. And then I will show you the groceries. So there will be no planning video and no shop with me video. It'll just be this one that has all this particular shopping. This whole last 6 weeks has been just massive. And then add into it the half cow and the cold, and yeah. So anyway, next up we'll see all the groceries, and then I'll give the dollar value at the end like normal for all the different places, and yeah, we will go from there. Alright, so it's 4:35. I'm just using my phone at the moment. I just wanted to show you this, and then I'll pull my other camera out when I do the actual groceries. So that was how the back of the car ended up, and the ute ended up like this. So because we had to take the sides off it, the eskies are either side of the trolley, just strapped on themselves, and then everything else. Now I ended up putting the I need the other keys. I ended up putting all the fruit and veg in here. There is airflow that comes in here, and everything still feels cool, so I don't think it's going to be any hotter than in the back seat, and it was just easier to load it straight from Mum's car into here. So the underneath has all the pantry stuff as well in the crates underneath this, and then all the fruit and veg and everything went on top. So now we just have to get it all inside. All right, we're in a little bit of a different order this time because things were packed differently. And so we're doing fruit and veg first. Now, I had to message Adam this morning because I forgot to let him know I was coming on a Saturday instead. He wasn't going to be there, so he set that trolley up for me. So we've got a variety of things. We have boxes full of miscellaneous stuff that has, a few marks on it so they can't sell it. We are happy to go through it, process, eat, and then the animals get some extra treats as well if there's stuff in here that's no good for us. So we've got this box here that looks to have some mangoes, some nice looking capsicums and chilies, and some corn cobs and a few bits and pieces. So I'm going to go through that. We'll have to do that this evening and sort that to a degree. We got a box of bananas. I bought 2 big drumhead cabbages because I like to have cabbages. There's some miscellaneous stuff in the bottom here. We will have to go through some potatoes. I bought some carrots, but there's potatoes and I don't know, they look like there might be tomatoes in there. So we'll have to have a look at that one. I bought about 5 kilos of just these 1 kilo bags of carrots. This one is also a miscellaneous box looks like some parsnips, some turnips, some cucumbers, some zucchini, some corn, a box of just seconds tomatoes, and another box of miscellaneous bits and pieces too. We've got some plums and some apricots and some apples and all sorts of things in there. A box of mixed onions, I just asked for, I think I said I just wanted 10 kilos of onions. So this was a box of mixed onions, a box of grapes that were a really good price. I don't know what everything was individually. It was 180 all up. So we got the grapes. We got another box of miscellaneous stuff by the looks of it there. There's the other carrots. This is a 8 kilo box of broccoli that's frozen, and a 10 kilo box of, not frozen, it's on ice, it has ice in it, and 10 kilo box of zucchini. So I think that was the majority of the fruit and veg that we got. So we've got that all out of the way, and I'm going to sort that first up. Potatoes, 2 5-kilo bags of potatoes as well. Potatoes don't store very well at the moment in our weather, so I don't tend to buy very many of them. Currently, we'll get some more in winter. Alrighty, next table. Things are a little bit mixed up. There's going to be some stuff here that there's going to be more of. I know there is, but I didn't pack it the same way in the car as normal. So Aldi had a couple of Easter themed lollies that I grabbed for the kids because I won't be back before Easter. I'll get something else for them online, but they were just cute. I grabbed some toothbrushes though. There's a couple more. I normally buy enough toothbrushes that everyone has a spare one every sort of trip to second trip. Again, I bought some soap, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple more of these. Hemp hot dog rolls for dinner tonight, some dishwashing gloves, deodorant, nappy sand, laundry liquid, dish liquid, some bags for the bathroom bin. I grabbed some of the small flour tortillas. These are really, really nice. I don't buy them very often because I make my own flatbreads and stuff, but these are really nice with birria and stuff. And we've got all that beef, so I'm going to make a beef birria, and we'll have beef birria tacos. I got some of the low carb wraps for Darryl, but they substituted some of these light wraps, which is fine. I'll just eat the light ones. He can have the low carb ones, and then some of the standard ones that I buy for the kids from Costco, which are a really great price. There's 3 packs of 12 for under $10. It's $9 something, so they're a great price. I grabbed some of the gallon freezer bags in the Kirkland brand. We've been very happy with the Kirkland brand of them, and they are cheaper than the Ziploc brand, which Costco also sells. I grabbed 3 of the cartons of the UHT coconut milk. This is the coconut milk that the kids use in all their hot drinks. And some standard big bin garbage bags. A couple of bottles of white vinegar for canning purposes, for cleaning edges and things like that. Some dark soy sauce, some fish sauce. I've got some apple juice for the child who uses it for his medicine. I've got some baking powder and a couple of molasses because I was all out of molasses. I have sugar. I think I got 5. There's 4 here, but I think I got 10 kilos of raw sugar to go in the bucket. There's still some left, but if I'm canning anything, then I go through it pretty quickly. I grabbed some of the hand-pulled noodles that I really like for my chili noodles. They were out of stock of those, and we got these ones as well. I think there's a couple more packets somewhere, but this is what's found on the table. So I think I got half a dozen packets all up. A couple of angel hair. Again, I think there's a couple more of these because we have plenty of spaghetti, but I really like the angel hair sometimes. And part of my problem, I think, with the dried pasta that I buy is that it's not egg pasta, and when I make my own pasta, it's egg pasta, and I just don't have the time or the freezer space or anything to make egg pasta at the moment. So I bought a few that were on sale. These little traditional German egg noodles mini lasagna will be perfect for lasagna soup, I reckon. So I grabbed a couple of bags of those, and then there's a few other sorts we'll find on the next table, but a couple of different types of egg-based pastas rather than just flour-based pastas. I got 6 litres of the Kirkland's olive oil. I actually got some of the Aldi 1 litre olive oils as well. So back before, a couple of years ago, I used to get some of these 1 litres and then the 6 litres because it was convenient to have these sitting on the shelf just in case we ran out. Then the price of olive oil skyrocketed, and these were far too expensive per litre compared to these. These went up as well, but these just ended up being way too expensive. So instead of buying them, we were just buying 2 lots of these. But I don't generally need more than the 6 litres. Occasionally I do though. So I grabbed, I think, 4 of these 1 litre ones to go on the shelf, and then the 6 litres of the Kirkland one that we prefer, a vegetable oil for frying, and they had some macadamia oil at Costco for $15 for the litre, which is really cheap. So I grabbed some of that too because I quite like macadamia oil. I got an instant yeast. There are still 1 or 2 on the shelf, but it's always good to have backup. Some of the 800 gram tins of tomatoes with all that beef, we'll be doing some tomato-based dishes. The ketchup that the kids use with the hot dogs. Passata, again, with all that beef, I wanted to have enough in case I wanted to do bologneses or ragouts or anything like that. Some sesame seeds. These are for the chili oil mostly, or everything bagel seasoning. The kids' dehydrated veggies that they request every time, the veggie crisps and the tempura ones that they really like. I got 6 of the Aldi raspberry jam. I bought a bunch of jam recently because these jars are going out. They don't have these jars anymore. They have a different style jar. But Sonnet really likes strawberry jam, so I bought a bunch of strawberry and blueberry because the boys like blueberry jam, and I realised that I'm not a huge fan of strawberry jam. I much prefer raspberry. So because I saw some in the old style jars still, I grabbed those. I grabbed the kids a bunch of Oreos like normal. There is more somewhere, I'm sure. They have cream egg flavoured for Easter, so that's pretty cool. I will definitely have to try one of them. Cream eggs are one of my favourites. Another container of the Knorr chicken bouillon that we use for the ramen seasoning. 20 of the coconut cream tins. 20 is the max you can get, so I just buy 20. We still have some on the shelf, but it's something that some months we go through heaps and other months we don't, so it's worth having them. I bought my lychee drink, which is down the bottom there, but they also have a new flavour peach, so I decided I would grab a box of each, and they will be drunk as they're drunk. We got ghee, which we've run out of, and I've also ordered that 10 kilo pail of ghee as well, so that we will have some extra. I got 18 rice milks. The kids aren't doing cereal very much at the moment. I don't think I actually bought any cereal because there's still plenty in the cupboard. So I bought 18 of those so that they have some, but I don't need much of it. A peanut butter. I think there's a peanut butter still, on the shelf, but I grabbed an extra one. A couple of maple syrups, though I'm just looking at the shelf now and there's 2 left on the shelf for some reason. Don't know why, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know. But I need to make some granola and stuff, and that uses a fair bit. A honey, because I'm not sure how much honey we had, so I just grabbed an extra one, and I grabbed these coffee beans. Nothing was really on special, and I know that we don't mind these ones. These ones are quite mild, but some of the other ones that we've tried have been a bit too dark, so these ones work. So I think I grabbed 4 of these because I think we only have 2 left, so I always like to have 6 in rotation. See another one on the ground. Right, next table. I got 2 of the big Quilton 48 roll toilet papers. There's the rest of the toothbrushes I was talking about, some razors, some more. I bought these from Coles and Woolies before I saw those ones that were at Costco, so I had already bought these. I got some of the Swedish dishcloths that are supposed to be really good. I've been looking at them on Amazon and stuff and found these fairly inexpensive. They were like $2 something at Coles or Woolworths, so I'm going to give them a go. There was the other soap, some toothpicks. We've got some of the automatic insect spray, some pads, some scourers, cat food, 2 of the bulk boxes of 48 pouches for the cats. This was half price, and I thought the kids might like to give it a go since they all have longish hair at the moment. Face wash for Apollo. We got some shampoo and some conditioner. There's the other coffee beans. Though I still think I bought 4. I still think there's one more somewhere, but anyway. And then this is the rest of the pasta stuff. So, as I said, I bought a few different brands, a few different types to try, but all with egg in them, not just wheat-based. But then some penne as well, because I really like that. And, of course, because that's an extruded pasta, you can't have egg in it. But so I got that as well. There's the other couple of angel hair. I got them. We've finally run out of I bought this noodle through a catering place for the kids to use with their ramen. And we've finally run out of all the ones that I bought through the catering place. So luckily Woolworths had these in stock. They do not seem to have them in stock in store. But when I order to Mum's place for delivery, it comes from a warehouse rather than a store. And they seem to have it in stock then. So that works out fairly well. Popcorn. Seeds, just got 4 kilos of those. Some sugar-free maple syrup that Darryl uses for his hot chocolate. A dozen of the plain rice crackers. They still had some seaweed ones left, and half a dozen of the rice cakes. They still have a couple left in the cupboard. I saw this, it was half price, and I saw this and I wanted to give it a go. It's whipped peanut butter. I just thought it was kind of neat. Darryl doesn't like peanut butter. Some sweet soy sauce and some rice wine vinegar. I still have some left of each of those, but we're on the last bottle. Some peanut oil for making the chili oil with. Some sugar-free
cordials for SodaStream and stuff for Darryl and I, and some sugar full ones for using with the slushy machine for the kids. They've been using about 1.5 cups of the cordial and filling it up to the max line with water and just making slushies out of it. It's working quite well. I got 10 kilos of plain flour. There is a 25 kilo of baker's flour somewhere on the ground too, and I just couldn't be bothered lifting it up onto the table. But there's a 25 kilo of baker's flour as well. A couple of the sugar-free drinking chocolates for Darryl. Some semolina, a couple of cocoa. I think I've got one left, but I like to grab it a couple every shop. It's not, you know, it doesn't hurt to have a few spare. These were half price and they just looked kind of funky, and I thought that Kavik and Sonnet might like to make these biscuits. Kavik or Sonnet and Sonnet, whatever. Stop fighting over them. Biscuits. I probably should have bought 2 boxes. There's the rest of the Oreos, the different flavours. I forgot. Apparently I forgot a bag. We gotta. Look. Mercury's coming to join the groceries. All right. No, don't put her on the table. We don't have cats on the table. I bought half a dozen of the espresso mix. They were half price. I buy half a dozen every time they're half price, so I grabbed those. Some cow's UHT milk for making yogurt. And a whole bunch of the corn chips. These are the ones that I now prefer rather than the Coles brand ones. They are only $4 if you buy them from, I can't remember which one, Coles or Woolworths. One of them, they're $6 something a bag. Other one, they're $4 a bag. So you have to pick the right place to buy them from. At $4, they're a good value. And these were half price, and these are my favourite chips. So I bought myself some of those as well. There was 4 packets, except that Mum and I ate a packet. So there's 3 left. And that's all the pantry stuff. Now we just have to do the meat. Alrighty, next table. Now most of this is chicken. So this is all chicken. So first up, I bought some cooking bacon from Woolworths, cheap for, sometimes you get some really nice pieces and sometimes you don't. It's a hit and miss, but it's fine. Some of the traditional bacon was on special at the butcher's for $5.99 a kilo, so I grabbed some more of that to dice up for dishes. 3 of the blocks of the Coles cheddar, 4 of the slices. I did grab a couple of spice herbs that were on special. I wanted some dried parsley and some basil. Hopefully I can get these growing eventually. I got 3 of the crispy noodles for the chow mein that we make, a bag of peanuts for the chili oil, a couple of bags of the sugar-free white chocolate. I really like white chocolate raspberry flavoured things, and the price on these is actually very similar to buying standard ones. And the thing about the sugar-free ones is that they have fibre in them as well, so I grabbed those anyway for having with the white chocolate raspberry stuff that I like. Some salmon pieces for Darryl. I bought these dino nuggets and tenders from Coles before I went to the chicken place, so I probably didn't need them, but the kids really like them anyway. And then this was the chicken. So I ended up $171 all up, and I ended up with about 20.5 kilos of the trim, and I put it all in 1 kilo bags. Some of it's frozen, some of it's not. I ran out of room. I got 4 of the, I think I said 5 of the nibbles and 4 of the whole split chickens, and I think they did it the other way around, but it doesn't matter. 4 of the 2 kilos worth of wing nibbles, so it's only the middles and the drumettes, not the tips. These were $3 per 2 kilo bag. And then I got 2 of the 30 kilo boxes of the bone-in skin on chicken thighs. Now, they do have both bones, which is fiddly and a bit annoying, but at the same time they were $30 per 12 kilo box, so you can't really complain. And then I got the skinless boneless chicken thighs. They were $60 for a 15 kilo box. So 15 kilos of those. I got 24 kilos of these, 8 kilos of the wings, 20 kilos of the trim, and then I also got 5 of these split chickens that we love. I really wanted the boneless ones. They sold out just before I got to the front of the counter. But so if you look at these are $11.45. If I like, this is what I normally would buy from Aldi, and they're $11.45. You don't get to pick flavors or anything. You get them random, but they were $3 each. So I got 5 of those as well. So that was the chicken. So all of that chicken for $1.71. All right, this is the last of it, we think.
It's like table 5.
We'll see. I don't know what number table anymore. I got 3 packs of just the leg ham. These work really well because they're in individuals. They freeze fine, they defrost fine. They're a good shape for putting in muffin tins with eggs in them too. Some of the fancy salami that we really like. A bag of chocolate chips. There's a few things that I buy from Costco in the way of fruit and veg that I just only want small amounts of, and they're a good price, good quality. Just convenient to buy it like that when I go and buy the bulk elsewhere. Pizza cheese. Costco had these little bags of peeled and ready to eat beetroot. It was $10 for the 4 250 gram packs. I really like beetroot, so I just saw it and really wanted it. 1 pack of the maple cured bacon. This is just a treat. It's $16 a kilo. It's just too expensive to eat large amounts of it, but it's fine. A 500 gram thing of asparagus. It was pretty cheap, and it'll just be a meal or two. It's just a treat. This Hidden Valley Parmesan, I bought it last showing trip. It's really nice. I really like it, so I grabbed that again. I got these for the kids just because I thought they'd like the novelty of them, these little tiny baby carrots, and they love eating raw carrot. Some of these homestyle potato chips. They didn't have them last trip, but they had them the trip before, and I really liked them, so I grabbed some of those. These were $5 off a pack, and they're those pork spare ribs that are cooked and you just reheat. I didn't buy any other pork, and so I just saw them for $5 off and decided that I wanted to grab them. Spring onions. I grabbed these for the kids. One of the kids has been asking for waffles for ages, and we make waffles, but they've been nagging about waffles. And I saw these. They were on sale, and they had these individually wrapped strawberry waffles, and I thought the kids might like them. Some butter. They didn't have any salted butter in the Kirkland brand, which is my preferred brand, so I grabbed the Devondale, which is fine. Some cucumbers, because the kids love cucumbers. Nuttalex. Greek yogurt. We use this for the pancake bakes, and then I make my own, but it's nice to have some to start with. These cheese Kranskis are really well priced, and we really enjoy them because there's 3 packs of 4 sausages in them, so it works well. They freeze well too. Sausages for the hot dogs. Frozen veg. This is my preferred frozen veg, so this is what I buy. And a cream that Sonnet's dropping, 1 litre of cream, and some lettuce that we will just eat in their first few days. And I think that is everything. All right, so that was the groceries. Now, I have realized that I missed pastry, puff pastry. I only realized that later. The fridges where the puff pastry are had some new frozen meals that I was looking at with Mum. So they had like a pad see ew, a 3-serve pad see ew frozen that you just heat in the microwave. And so we grabbed them for Mum and a couple of other things that were in that section, and I missed the pastry. Darryl actually has to go for an appointment to Toowoomba tomorrow, so we'll just get some from Coles. But it is cheaper at Costco because it comes in a larger pack for a similar sort of a price. So I did miss pastry. I also was supposed to get a box of just straight apples, and I didn't. I think we just missed that when we were doing all the other fruit, which is a bit of a bummer. Again, I might get Darryl just buy a couple of kilos of apples to go in the bottom of the fridge, because there's not a lot of fresh eating fruit in what I bought, because I bought bananas, and I thought I'd just buy bananas and the apples and the grapes, and that would be enough for this month because there's plenty of frozen berries and stuff. But without the apples, we're a little short on fresh fruit, so I might get him to buy some apples as well. Other than that, I don't think there was anything else that I missed. I can't recall, nothing else that's standing out anyway after, figuring what we've got. So in regards to cost wise, this one's going to be a hard one to calculate because we bought the half a cow. Now that half a cow is going to last us for multiple grocery shops. I feel like I could easily say 3. So I feel like we could easily say the 18 odd weeks that beef will be enough for, when I think about the fact that I would normally use sort of 4 to 8 kilos of beef mince per grocery period, and there was 20 kilos there, then I feel like that's sort of a good scope of saying 18 weeks. So if we broke down the cost of the beef over 18 weeks, that's $90 a week worth of that beef. So that's what I've sort of based it around. So I spent $3.90 at Coles, $4.08 at Woolworths, $171 at the chicken outlet. And again, that chicken, probably, I'm thinking that I'd only go to that one every second grocery trip probably, because it's a Friday morning thing. And so normally I try and avoid Costco on a Saturday, and it was pretty chaotic. But also, if I'm going, every second trip is going to be in the middle of the school holidays. So Costco on a Saturday in a school holiday, so it would probably be every second grocery trip for that one, I think. Or even less if I can figure it out. If I can figure out how far it stretches, because we don't really know. So, I know approximately how much we use per meal and things like that, but it's still a matter of figuring out how we're using stuff in the slightly different circumstance to see how many meals it's going to carry across. So I don't really know, but that it's only 171 anyway, so we're including it in this grocery shop anyway. So it was 171 on chicken, and it was $18 at the butcher for that thick cut bacon that I wanted. $180 at the fruit and vegetable store, and it was $1,075 at Costco and $286 at Aldi. Now Aldi did include the new vacuum sealer and some vacuum sealer bags and stuff, which was about $90. So we'll take that off because that's not relevant to the groceries. Throughout all those things, as per usual, I did buy some desserts for Mum and I for the 2 nights that we were there. I bought some stuff for the air fryer on the last night. We had corn fritters and some pork riblet things and some potato gratins and stuff, and I always buy boxes of those and whatever's left in Mum's freezer, and she eats when she's when I'm gone, so within those groceries, but I just include them anyway. And as per usual, that includes all our consumables as well as the food, so all our shampoos and soaps and laundry detergents and all the rest of it, because to me they're part of my groceries, because they're something that I buy every grocery trip, and they are used each grocery trip kind of thing. So the total was $244,172. This worked out to be $406 a week, which is $58 per person per week, or $8.31 per person per day, or $2.79 per person per meal if we break it into 3 meals a day, which is how I like to do it as a measuring stick. Of course, we don't only eat 3 meals a day, and like Darryl and I generally only eat 2 meals a day, but the kids will eat, 10. So, but it's just my measuring stick. Now, if I add on that meat though from the beef, it ends up being $70 per person per week, or $10 per person per day, or $3.36 per person per meal, which is about the average of what I've been spending. So I looked back on my previous ones, and in January it ended up being $2.93 per person per meal, but I ran out on quite a few things throughout that January shop, because I think I went a little light on things to try and save some money. And then the month before that was the Christmas shop, which is not a good measuring stick either, because it was $4.25 per. So that 3, and that's all I've got written in my book here, but I've put the chart up in every time I've ever done the shopping, so it's there, it's saved in my Canva and stuff. But the $3.36 I think is a really good point. I always say that back when we first started doing the monthly shopping, 6 years ago or whatever it was, we were pretty broke, so we were counting every penny, but it was $1.90 per person per meal with 8 of us here was what we were managing to do it with, and we ate very similarly. Of course, we've got a little bit more lenient with some of the more luxury items and things like the half a cow and all the rest of it. Obviously, we wouldn't have done that back then. We would have just stuck to the cheapest beef cuts we could find. But at the same time, I think that with the inflation of the cost of food, and then the fact that we've changed our eating style slightly and all the rest of it, that $3.30 per person per meal is still pretty darn good. Or what was it? It was including the beef, it was $4.90 a week. $4.95 a week for 7 people, and that's everything. That's all the consumables, and it's all the food we eat. I put $50 a fortnight into a little kitty that goes for IGA and stuff, and that is generally speaking for things like soft drink, chips, and snacks that, like, you know, some sort of a treat thing, or for things like lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff for a specific meal that we don't have it on. So like if we're making sushi or hamburgers or something and we don't have any of that fresh veggies for that particular thing, and cream for coffee and stuff. So but anyway, that was the groceries. So thank you for watching again, and I will start sharing all the videos of doing stuff with all the groceries now. I don't know what this lighting is like because my let pot, my hydroponic little garden, is sitting on the table in front of me and it's throwing quite a lot of light at me. So but yeah, so I will see you guys on the next one.